Hey all, it's Chris from Meats, Beats, and Bubbles. And who doesn't like fresh muffins? Ah, my favorite. So it's just John and I now. So to make a dozen muffins for us and to eat them before they go stale, yeah, we have to eat them all, and that's not a good look. So I found a recipe that so intrigued me. First of all, the flavors are cranberry cardamom. So what I am going to make, and I'm just making the batter because these are going to be frozen, and then you'll just get them out if you just want one or two. So basically you just bake them then from the freezer, and we'll see how this goes. I have not made this recipe before. I've not made anything like this. So hopefully they're going to bake up nice and tall and fluffy and yummy. And you just make the batter in the muffin tin. So essentially you just pop it in the oven, and in 25 minutes or whatever it is, you're going to have a nice hot fresh muffin. So on the spur of the moment, got a girlfriend that comes over for coffee, you are all set. So these are going to be cranberry cardamom muffins from the freezer. And what you will use is your muffin tin. And aren't these super cute? So lovely. They're going to be a great, just a great accent for those muffins. Just make them look so much more pretty. So anyway, you got to have some kind of a liner in there, whether it's paper or foil. Just use whatever you have, because you're going to take them and you're going to put them in a Ziploc bag and store them in your freezer. So that just makes it easy to get them back out. So away we go. I got these already. Nice thing is you don't have to spray your muffin tin. So I am gonna set this aside. And the extra special thing is I don't even have to remember to light the oven. First step really is to whisk 2 eggs with some vegetable oil until thoroughly combined. So I started a little bit, cheated, and already mixed the eggs just to get it going. So anyway, those are thoroughly combined. You need buttermilk for this recipe. Well, I don't have the liquid buttermilk. I have the powdered, but that is not a good thing for this recipe. So what I did was I took my Fage zero-fat Greek yogurt. Use whatever brand you like. If you have yogurt, just use plain yogurt. So use that, and I mixed it with just a cup of water, and I need 1 1/4 cups for the recipe. So I'm gonna have to, I'll measure this out, dump a little bit out or whatever. So I come up with my 1 1/4 cups. So anyway, you'll either have to have buttermilk or you'll have to have yogurt. So if you're going to get it, just get buttermilk if you're going to buy it for the recipe. I'll tell you at the end whether it's a keeper or not. To the bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of just white granulated sugar. And we're going to give that a whisk just to whisk it in. All right, then we're going to add our measured off of our buttermilk, our fake buttermilk. So we're going to add that. That's 1 1/4 cups. And we're going to whisk that in, and then some nice fresh lemon zest. And from 1 lemon, and this is the size here, just so you know, from this size here, I got a teaspoon of lemon zest. And you'll actually need a little more for the top too. So, so you'll probably need, 1 1/2 to 2 lemons. Lemon zest does freeze well. If you make I like to make just a little piece of a foil, like a little square, about that big or so. And then you could just measure it however you like. I usually put in a teaspoon of lemon zest and wrap it up like a little envelope and throw it in a Ziploc bag, and I just mark on there whatever it is, whether it's lemon, lime, grapefruit. So you always have it on hand. Throw it in when it's still frozen. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh, ha, that was funny. I did good on that one. Okay, now I have 2 1/2 cups of flour that I've just whisked together. You don't need to sift it. And in here, I am going to whisk this into the flour. So we've got salt, we've got cardamom, we've got baking powder, and we've got baking soda. And we have a lot of baking powder in there. And both of them are leaveners. And I don't remember what does what job. So feel free to comment if you know that. I always have to look it up. But that's going to be basically using that much of it's a tablespoon of the baking powder. Wow, I don't think I've used that much in a single recipe. So I'm sure there's a purpose, and I probably should have researched that before. But curiosity, I'm just always one of those curious types. So we've whisked all that together, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take and fold in a 1/3 of the flour mixture into the egg mixture. So we're going to do it a third at a time, and we want to get it so that it's thoroughly combined. So we're going to take about a little over a cup in there. It's just my half cup measuring cup. So we're gonna just whisk this around, and we're gonna make it until it's nice and smooth and no lumps. Okay, so whisking it a third at a time. If you can see, I've in my furious whisking here, I've dumped some out of the bowl. So when you do it a third at a time, it helps to keep all of the flour in the bowl. And it also makes it so that it's easier to combine together. So anyway, that's looking really good. Boy, I wish you guys could smell it. That cardamom in there is so good. If you guys haven't tried cardamom, I really suggest you do. You can use it in savory and in sweet. And it just has a really nice, it gives it a nice, I almost kind of describe it as kind of a little bit of an earthy flavor in there. But I like it. I don't use it a ton, but I've used it enough that I found it's really tasty. So here is the cranberry part. And what you need is 1.5 cups of, you can use fresh or frozen cranberries. I always have them in the freezer because I like to add them to a cocktail, and I like to get them when they're on sale. If you get them when they're not on sale at the holiday time, like coming up here soon, they're really expensive. So when I find them, I'll get them and I'll freeze them, and they keep really well and they defrost really nice. So I just took 1.5 cups of frozen, and I used my favorite, it's one of my favorite things to use, is I just used my Pampered Chef chopper. And I just chop them right in here. You can chop them in another bowl or pie tin or whatever if you want to try to do more at one time. But I just do this and then dump it in my measuring cup. I love this thing. It's great for nuts. It's great for the cranberries. I just use it for a lot of different things. Not so good on onions. It tends to just mush them and not chop them. So it's not really pleasant for that. So anyway, thumbs down to onions. So I'm going to take and I'm going to add the cranberries stir it in to my batter until it's just combined. And oh man, it is a beautiful color. Here, guys, look at this. Look at that beautiful color on there. So just gonna stir it to combine. Make sure there's no rogue streaks of flour in there. Get it all combined. Don't want to overmix it, but you do want to make sure that it's all combined. And I will take a photo and add that in to show you what this batter looks like, because it is beautiful. It's making me excited. The weather is kind of cooling off a little bit here in Arizona. And these flavors are so fall-like that it's like, yes, finally, the triple digits are done. So anyway, makes me happy. This is just gorgeous, and it's a nice thick batter as well. So what we're gonna do is I'll swap this out. We're gonna take, and I'm just gonna use a 1/3 cup measuring cup because I don't have a scoop for that. So anyway, and just so we can get them so that they'll bake at the same time if you're doing more than one. And we're just gonna take and fill this here. I get a little bit over, but anyway, I'll scoop that in with my finger here. So I'll use a spoon or a small spatula to get the rest of that in there. We're on the last step, and what we're gonna do is just take our beautiful lemon zest, and we're gonna just sprinkle that over the top here of, likes to stick to your fingers, each muffin. So I just zested another lemon, so it's super fresh. So I'm going to sprinkle them away. I am done zesting and sprinkling. The one thing I didn't have, because I used it all in the lemon poppy seed muffins I made on Saturday, is the turbinado sugar. Would have made it easier to sprinkle because it would have stuck to it and I could have sprinkled it easier. Yes, sprinkling. This is the sprinkling method here. I am going to get turbinado sugar, but not until tomorrow. So anyway, I will just add that after I freeze, probably right before I bake them. Hopefully it's going to stick. I may just have to press it down into it. We'll see. So, we'll see how that goes. But I've got all of my muffins ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them in to the freezer in the garage. And after 3 hours, I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. This is the frozen product. Now, I made 12, so I could get 9 in one bag, and here's 3 in another. So I am going to put 2, because I'm nice, and I'm going to put 1 for John and 1 for me. So just so you could see, this is how they froze up. I did get some turbinado sugar, so I am going to put these in just a 6-cup muffin tin. So this will be the test run to see how they bake up and everything. And they are really frozen solid. I have the oven preheated and the shelf on the center rack at 350. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of the sugar on here, and next time I'll have it so I can mix the zest and the sugar together. So that would actually make it adhere when the batter was still nice and soft and gooey. See how they look. There's a up close. So you can see the sparkly crystals is the turbinado sugar with the lemon zest on there. And they're going to go in the oven for, I'm going to check them at 33 minutes just to see. They could go as long as 36. And then I can bake them off and see. So when I do that, I'm going to bake a couple. I'm going to make 1 for me as a tester and 1 for John, so he could try it and give me his taste testing opinion. So I will have to come back to you with that part, so we'll stay tuned. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and tell you here where you can find me. So you could find me on the blog at meatsbeatsandbubbles.com. You can find me on Pinterest, Meats, Beats, and Bubbles. Everything is Meats, Beats, and Bubbles. So that's easy to remember. I do pin all the recipes there. I post them to Facebook and I post them to Instagram. So you guys could just find me wherever you like. Comment, add things, suggest things, like things, whatever you want to do. I am here for you. So guys, I'm going to go get these in the freezer. I'm going to cover them first though. And we'll finish this up, and then we'll have to have a taste testing. Okay, my house smells so good. So I just pulled the muffins out of the oven, and it was 33 minutes. They came out clean, checking it with the toothpick, so all is good. So now I've got them cooling on the wire rack in the tin for 5 minutes, and then they'll cool for another 5 minutes. And maybe by then, John will be home and we can taste test it. So we just have to wait, be patient, cross our fingers that they are gonna be divine. Okay, there they are out of the oven. And just to show you here, I'll do a little side view. So they did raise up. I'm not sure if they would have raised like this just baking them from the get-go. So I will probably have to do a comparison on that.
Chris asked me to help her out with something. She came up with this new recipe for muffins. They're cranberry, poppy seed, something, but she'll tell you what they are. Anyway, they look delicious. That's all I know. And they were frozen. So you make them frozen and you don't bake them. And then you bake them from frozen. So you can just bake 1 or 2 or 10. Anyway, she wanted me to taste test them. So this is the muffin. This side's for show. So look at it. I'm not supposed to eat this side. Chris told me.
That's because that's my half.
She says, yeah, because she's special. And then the side that's not as pretty, this is my side. I get to eat it. So she said that she wanted to take my reaction. Okay,
that's for tell, not show.
You ready?
I am. Should probably take a smaller bite.
It's pretty good. I wonder if this side tastes better.
Don't eat it all. I haven't tried it yet. Okay, put it down.
Good.
Okay, is it good? Mr. John gave you his opinion, and he did leave me part of a muffin you can see here. So I will taste it and see and give you my 2 cents worth. So it's got a nice crunch on the top, and it seems to be nice and fluffy there. Let's give it a go. Yeah, it's got a good cranberry tartness, and that lemon too gives it another tart burst of flavor. And then the turbinado sugar on the top really adds a nice little crunch. They're nice and soft and fluffy, and definitely worth throwing them in the freezer. Next time I am gonna I'll probably put more cranberry in, but I'm gonna make a batch, and then I'm just gonna bake them from scratch to see how it compares. And so who knows, you may see an add-on to this video down the road. But anyway, this is going to be a great fall treat. And in 33 minutes, you've got hot, fresh muffins right out of the freezer for breakfast or for a nighttime snack or mid-afternoon or mid-morning. No, just
I vote for nighttime snack.
Yeah, John votes for nighttime snack. That would be AM though, because he gets up and eats at midnight. He's the midnight man. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Chris said not to say anything till she gave me the finger. She just gave me the finger. Hi. Oh, look, Milo's coming over.